Good morning. Alright, should be done with you. Alright, I did some pre-building, so I've got the updated server running. I've got Windows distribution, which you still have to configure the settings on. I've not done that yet. Alright, auto login, we have to wait till we've actually logged in once. Custom server address. It's my laptop. Full screen. I believe we'll turn that off. Don't need to poke the production servers for anything. We're going to say we have done the tutorial, so we don't need to don't get trapped. Use custom server. Alright, and we can flip auto login once we've run once. Let's just get that out of the way. epi.c blah blah blah. Alright. Now we can go to settings, auto login. He's coming on. So generally we're going to be there, which means we need a second window. Where we can get close to the game file. No, that's the icon. Game file in order to drag it up there to replace this one every time we build. Also, oh, that's the build. Get me a file. This might actually be a leftover junk file. And also, right, gaming, thank you for the host. Living life. Living life? So max double click frames. 15 seemed like we're going off accidentally. 10 was virtually impossible. So we're going to try that. We're going to do oh, I've never even committed to going to 20. We are making changes here, so and double click times. One life. I can probably just revert a patch for the arrow push. So I need my changes. Well, there's a lot of updates. All right, draw arrows. Shift edit path. Auto run state tracking. Yeah, so might be able to revert this one. All right, now is this applied on top or actually a full-fledged commit? Okay. And then we need the using the other Ming for build. So that might actually be pretty easy. And then I need to get back down, not the data, down into game source. Okay, get that. Actually, you know what? I was using console commands for that before. I need this one open to run the game. Alright, so we've got edge push, but we don't need the arrows really. That was just because we were used to be doing some edge detection stuff. And we've got auto run. Doesn't seem to be going off too easily. Hi, horse. But it's still doable. Alright, well. Also, I think that... Yeah, I think I had a basket here at one time. But oh well. I don't know, I just wanted to play with this for a while at one point. So that might actually be about it. Because I was just able to revert the one thing, and the other is just number tweaking. Oop. Alright, I'll have to... Oh, no, that's right, because I was... Never actually updated the master because I was just tracking his master. Alright, so I think that's probably actually it for you. And then I was thinking I had started doing some stuff with hostable. So now we need to switch up all the stream title stuff. So we're not game modding. Working on... let's see, so if this is going to be communities, well, I can change it up again later. Alright, put down there. Alright, stream stuff should be updated. So, now did I actually leave this uncommitted or did I just not? Okay. The actual... No, not you. What? Go away. Oh, I'm on a branch that's doing it. Okay. So we've got communities. Oh, I was going to do a pending community stream at one point and then didn't. I know, maybe I didn't notice that I was doing that. Well, maybe I changed some of the function calls for that. And I think in init, yeah, I just manually added the ones that were of interest. So to be a usable interface, well, so there's a couple things going on. One is that right now we're putting them in as unknown users. Do I have a notes on this one? I don't have a notes on this one. I could do that just in here. So we've got communities, we've got usernames for untracked users. We've got the communities, the v5 API. We've got community persistence. We've got probably a community section. And which of these do we tackle first? So right now, yeah, we've got this up. So we got a list of this. We could see if there's any unknowns right now. I've probably got most of the dev sauce people by this point. Oh, there's an unknown. Oh, no. That's me. But that is what an unknown looks like. So what happens right now is that if I click on this to go fetch more information, apparently I have fetched this before in testing, then it goes out and fetches the name, and then you can actually branch to or browse to the name. Right now it's going to go to unknown, which I don't think is actually anybody's username. Or it's not anyone major at any rate. So like here's one I did recently, but I mean he's popular enough, so doesn't need my help most of the time. So when we get one of these, and I'm actually form sort of a convenient test case, I guess. Well, I think I want to put those separately, especially if I go to fetch usernames, because then it won't really stand out as, hey, it's an unknown user, maybe I want to check out. So we need to actually kind of separate the community live streams. And then we're going to have all the issues of now we have to merge usernames and everything in that separate collection. Or I can display them separately if I flagged it somehow. Yeah, so I can do some degree of testing on that with myself. So I don't need the community entry or the v5 API. Maybe just yet. Or we just power through on v5 API. Well, I'm going to want to separate it at some point, especially if I add some other communities. So if we add a separate... And the question is, do we flag? Or do we do separate collections? Oh, and for this one, we're going to want to get a build going. And I believe that's bin monitor. All right, so right now we get back... Oh, right, we've got a thing for just when I'm updating the name versus fetching a new user. So I've got two types of user updates. Users, add users. Right, when they're brand new, we need all the extra stuff for them. If it's just a single user update, then we don't need to do that. So right now we just have streams. And then that goes into a single live streams, where stream is coming straight from the Twitch decoder, which means we would have to do some extra work to get an extra field in there to say if they're known or not, or whether they're a community user or a storage user. Well, we could look at the user for that, right? So user has a ID, display name, and tags. And that is stuff we actually persist. But I could store a persisted flag and then just set that to constant true when loading from storage. I've currently got a user fetch, which is mostly from the data entry box. When I'm deliberately adding a user, so that would set persist to true. And then persist users would end up doing a filter on that. So, potentially error prone. But the alternate is having two collections of users to look people up in, which is going to be kind of annoying. And you could always put people in the wrong collection, so that's kind of the same scale of mistake. So we have persisted true, and then when we encode, we don't care about that. And when we decode, oh, it's actually a type of bool. Oh, well, that might actually break my test, too. And then my decoder, persist user. Oh, actually, the encoder is going to need to filter. Oh, tags used to be an optional field. Oh, but I do need to look up how you do a constant. Core. Decode. No. Oh, that would essentially be a succeed. A succeed true because we loaded them from there. And then my encoder. Oops. It's a map 3. I might switch to streaming syntax sometime. Really? No, you're the compiled code. Ah. This is a import. Oh, from the API. Ooh. Ooh. I guess we're going to have to go false. And then imported users. And then we have persist user, I guess. So that almost could have been an inline. But we do import user and then persist user. I always forget the equal sign on these functions. No. Typo. Okay. We can now fetch usernames that are not... Oh, wait, is this... No, this is user update. This actually does want to persist. See, right now, anytime I click on somebody, it means I'm going to be interested in them. For the moment, anyway. So that works. But I actually need to have another user update for the community ones. Yeah, this could still go to a design I don't like. So when we fetch... Fetch streams by community's IDs. So the streams know what the users are. Well, I could just say, if I don't know the user by the time I get the stream. Then we're just going to do a user fetch, a sort of casual user fetch. So I can make a new fetch, or I could pass a persisted flag through. Is there any other difference? Yeah, I mean there are consequences to this one. So I should probably be doing a little bit more. So this is a oh, this could this could potentially be a whole group of people. So it's going to look a little bit more like that, probably. Unknown users, unknown users, unknown user. And then these are the ones we're not going to persist. So this happens when we fetch streams live streams dict.insert fetch next user stream batch. That's just pending user streams. And we're not already doing anything with that to get users, are we? That could be a factor in imported. There's refresh, which does a big ooh. Refresh might reset our persisted flag. You know what? That's only going to be a issue for persisted users. And I might lose my shortcut. Keep a key value pair when it satisfies a predicate. So model.users dict.filter actually I don't even need this. And I really only need... Can I do just the one field? Dict.keys, that's got turned into a very long line. Or I guess I could take the list of values and do like a... Is there a filter map? There might be a filter map, but that works. Or rather, I think that works. All right, so that was an issue. And then we'll get the users, which will trigger the stream fetch for our persisted people. Then we'll get the communities, which will trigger the unknown user fetch. So that is the result of streams, which currently does command none. Fetch next game batch, fetch next user stream batch. And then this is just setting up queued requests for later. Nah. I'm feeling like I do want to commit this. Oh, but we don't use the unknown user's message at all. Like at all. So when we fetch a stream, yeah, somewhere down here we've got like fetch next user batch, fetch next user stream batch, fetch next game batch. It's probably going to be one of the simpler-ish. Oh no, this is going to be a little bit of... It's definitely a way to do it. Fetch unknown... Oh, you need a function you can call. So this is going to be fetch users by ID. Except it's different. And maybe I need a better way to abstract this. You know, some way to specify the tagger you do. But that's a function to call. So we're going to need to do something. Am I going to worry about batching on this? I can't have gotten more than max batch size users, so probably not. Oh, but what we need is the list stream that we just got. This is dict.keys is model.users. required list.map, probably user ID. Streams is just a straight up list. This is user IDs. Once we write into the model, although I'm going to having to let something here. We have a stream dict indexed by user. Wait. Live streams? No, by game ID. I was doing this by... Yeah. But I can just do dict.keys here. Can requests fetch unknown users. Oh no, it's fetch unknown users by ID here. And then we do this when we get a streams back. However, it's convenient to use the streams dict. So either we have to develop, I guess we can develop just the dict. And fetch unknown users. I mean, that technically iterates over or considers all keys, even the ones that we didn't just fetch. Ooh. If we end up queuing up multiple stream fetches, we might end up requesting the same users over and over again. Yeah. So we want fetch unknown users streams. So we have to do a list.map.user ID over streams. And I've got a name. Now, I eventually want to do something to set these. I guess I can actually just look up the unpersisted users. And that will take care of it. Not using you. Not using you. Right, that's my compiler. To unknown users, mark those as persisted, those as not persisted. I guess I don't actually have proof. That didn't get marked as persisted. Ooh. And of course I have to click on it to get the remove. No, I never added my filter to encode, did I? Let's dot map. Right. This dot map user to values, which means that we need to throw in a list dot filter by u dot persisted. No, actually, that is in fact just the accessor, because it's a Boolean. All right, so reload that. Remove me again. Check the export. Good thing I checked that. So now we've got an edit to encode. Fetch names for unknown users and track persisted flag. So now I can't group them by community, but I can separate out the unknown people. And I could actually list them under all the communities that they're streaming under. So if they're under multiple, they might appear several times, but oh well. So view, I don't suppose we have a thing that just like show me all the streams. I'm probably passing in the model right now. Oh, model.live streams, sort by map. Stream view. So we could throw a filter in here. Dict.values, sort by list.filter. Initially we want persisted. So that works out great. The other one's going to work out not so great. Oh, no, wait, we can do... I think that'll work. So for now, what we need is just like a... and a text unknown. Oh? Oh no, this is by the associated user. It's a list of streams. We have to filter this by stream to model dict.get. Stream.userid. And model.users. And that'll be a maybe. So we maybe dot map that over persisted. And let's just take this out for now till we work this out. And then we need a maybe dot with default. If a stream doesn't have a user, we're going to consider it not a saved stream. You shouldn't be appearing. Oh, I thought I'd fixed this. Does the refresh something? Oh, something in the refresh process. All right. All right, so for the sake of faster debugging, we have a maybe user. And, oh, that's a Boolean. If persisted, then text persisted else text. Nope. Maybe space. Maybe space. Oh, maybe dot. Okay. Okay, so you're showing up as persisted. You shouldn't be. And as soon as I reload, our the state right now is not persisted. Okay. Well, there's our refresh. State right now is persisted. How does that work? When I first find it, it's not persisted. How? You're not persisted, you're not in the output. I guess I need to check local storage. See if that's different than what I'm exporting. You are too tight. I guess there's a reason for that. Yay. Oh. We're getting different results from persist and from export. Why would we do that? I don't actually need to run a persist here. Since we're specifically not persisting anything. Oh, but then we do need to do a command.none. And I guess that could end up having some effect on it, but we could do other things that cause a persist. Then, what does the export button do? Oh, there's a separate. Which just does the users. Well, that seems unfortunately error-prone. I don't have a good way around it right now, though. All right, so right now you've been written in as persisted. So write you out. All right. So the view stuff was for debugging. And yeah, this is actually a patch on the previous one. This poor Vim is so messed up. I'd swear that it was actually handling things much better in previous versions of this Git shell. Alright, so get stash pop. And now we're more attempting to directly separate that. So that should just not appear right now. Alright. And then we go up. Oh, and jumping around got it very confused. So for now, just copy this. Maybe persisted. Not. So we've got our unknowns. What I might actually like to do is display those by community, which would kind of turn into, well, eventually for the communities I care about. I would then go through every community, find unknown users in that community. Now we've got a model where communities, well, I don't imagine that there's, oh, I'm manually putting in names right now. We've got something to work with on the view side. So this is a model dot communities that's the parameter, isn't it? Or alternately, we take the data and shove it into a div. Dict.values model.communities. If we're going to pipeline stuff. Dict.values. List.map. Is a name and an ID? Well, let's just put all this stuff there for now. But change the text to name. And you to put it in a div. Oh, so this whole thing has to be a collection, and each item has to be a collection. Community's values. We've got the array. We've got close list. What's your problem? I must have just stuck that in from something else. Say it, model.communities. Okay. Okay. Oh, also, this needs to be a different ID. Oh. The dangers of importing ... dot dot. Had a little name collision there. True, if not accurate. Oh, I must have done some very specific styles here. List style type. Yep. All right, so we got mine, we got some possibly new stuff. A better way to handle unknown people than just saying we know them. We're not actually filtering by community right now. So we've got an ID. And actually turn this into full flowing style. So we've got one filter there. We've got a filter for stream, which actually doesn't have anything to do with users. Ooh. No, this is still the Twitch community, so... Which I don't have that object here anymore. Well, hey, wait, you know what? It's a published package, so we can see what our docs are. Stream. Are communities under user? Is that information not even available, or did I not decode it? Twitch API. Where's the reference? So it's set up like it's a stream property. You fetch streams by community. Did I just not decode them? Or is I just not reading that right? I never got to fully expanding that data type. Or they've added it since. ID, user ID, game ID. Type. Language. Yeah, I thought I went through and expanded all of these. And since that's a change of a type, that's going to be a breaking change, too. So I could probably get around this by tagging unknown users. Sample stream. Language. I just never went through and updated that one. So I could probably get away with this by passing through some parameter to the fetch that says, oh, and by the way, these streams belong to this community's fetch run. But that's probably something we should fix anyway. And then just the really annoying thing about working on published libraries is you like kind of have to clear the cache and then point to the local directory, debug it, and then do it all again when you're going the other way. But this will set us up for doing the Twitch v5 stuff to get community names, which is still hacked in right now. So yeah, we know what, we're gonna have to touch the Twitch library anyway. Adding another group of modules might have only been a point release, but So we have a very messy process right now. We have to, well, probably build artifacts and packages. And then I have to momentarily Elm package add Elm Twitch API source. Ooh, is it under source for the sub package? Yes, it is. Well, that's awkward. But I guess that will have to change when we're done. Alright, and we're working on view. Right, it would actually expect there to be something here. And to do that, we have to go into here and fix this up. So ID, user ID, game ID, field community IDs, which is a list of string. Community IDs type. Didn't I have types for certain things? Ah. Yep, viewable. So, what are the current possible values for... Oh, it's a live stream. In case of error. Well, okay, that's not a useful field. I can be forgiven for skipping that one. Title of viewer count started at... Did I miss that one looking at this as well? I mean, that's it right there. Community type, title, viewer count started at... Don't they have like a timestamp decoder? And I mean, you could potentially do more with language. I'm just gonna do that as a string. Oh, and you know, like the stream type might, you know, want to actually have these fields in it. All right, game ID. Community Unity IDs is a list string. Started at was below viewer count. I believe that decodes to a time. And language is a string. And we don't have anything to trigger a rebuild on our end here. Oh, actually, then decode. Okay, so I guess I'm going to have to remove all of Elm's stuff because it's gotten itself confused somewhere. I was hoping we wouldn't have to necessarily do that. Well, probably just build artifacts. Something else got built with a reference to something. Okay, I was mistaken. Oh, maybe exact dependencies. Oh, and we overflowed the number of fields you can map. Wait, I thought I added like 3 fields. How is it still... Oh, it probably stopped the 7th argument. So, is anything else here doing pipeline style? Yes. Succeed. Stream. Can we get proper syntax coloring, please? All right. So, can we maybe do it? Jerk. Why can you wrap one way, not the other? And that's not a dot now. It might be a P though. So actually need 0, not 0. Caret. And then you actually have to do stream.community unity IDs. You could almost publish that as a set, but it tends to be less useful for Elm functions. That might be an any equals. Oh, member. List.member. I could cheese that out, but it's fine. $41? Nope, I moved this, didn't remove that. All right. Okay, and to test this, we would go back to hostable. And get a much more populous community. Although, yeah, I might actually show up under both. Okay, didn't necessarily sort how we wanted. So, yeah, whole bunch of stuff. So, I mean, that's something I could look at. If I was looking for just something else, but, like, I've never... Yeah, this is more when I'm idle hosting. I could go look at things. But that's generally fine. For just using the regular Twitch interface. Just if I get into something. I can just kind of undo. Alright. So back to that. We're probably going to have to just work whip on not using the publish module for a while. No, I can just not commit package, I guess. Although it's not actually an accurate version representation, so broken is broken. A separate section for community streams. And then we probably actually do... Because of the watcher, it's really tempting to just dump all of the Twitch code in here for now. But actually, you should have your separate source control going on. I've already got a window for that somewhere. Alright, I'm pretty sure we have to call this 2.0 because that's a breaking change. I know that there's something you can do. Or that it checks versions for you. I don't know if it sets the versions for you. Actually, wasn't there something in here? A little bit. I mean, I could just leave it alone and wait for it to complain at me. Maybe Elm package would actually have something to say about this. API is the same. Values have been added. Yeah, that would be a value changed. Automatically enforced rules. They're automatically enforced rules, but you have to set the version yourself. Ah, Elm package bump. So we could go oh, but it reformatted it. Well, oh, no, git checkout. No, Elm package. What? Okay, that was just a... Something the other program did confused Vim. Alright, well, we know what the version is. Also, it was Elm package diff? Yeah, I consider it a complete change. From my perspective, we just added a few fields. Add the rest of fields to stream. And rest of fields to stream. And now what I have to do is figure out what project I was originally doing Twitch API v5 stuff under. Unless they've like mysteriously added communities to the API. I think I might have actually seen an announcement about that. Nope. All right, give me a sidebar, please. API v5, no scheduled removal date. Interesting. This used to have the same depreciation date, and now they're going to change it to v5. I don't know what default means. That you have to go to different URLs? Anyway, so I think it might actually be, this might be one of the earlier projects I did. Where we could... Go spelunking through history. Oh, well, this is about the time I was doing Helix, apparently. And I apparently did a lot of refactoring here, because I don't see those commits show up. So at some point in this process, we would have removed the old code, right? Or maybe later. Oh, I did do a lot of rearranging. I might have just done stuff in place at this point. I didn't really have it cleanly separated then. Client ID, client ID. Yeah, so we're already in Helix mode here. Fetch game info. Deserialize. I'm looking more at removed code here. Store user display name. 8 streams API. Oh! Oh, no, there it is. So that was the old streams. So does that mean there's an API v5? Oh, yep, URL change and the accept v5. That might be the only thing you really need to do. I don't know if URLs would have changed much. Edit script. I think this is my initial Helix branch. Oh, update users API to Helix. Something more of the same. Yeah, so it might just be... I'm going to have to look up the URL anyway. And we need this header. All right, I'm going to have to set this up a little bit because I had a helper for Kraken. No, actually the other project first. Where did I put? So we had Helix. Oh, I extracted the Twitch headers, which is actually going to become more interesting. Ooh, did we have OAuth? Or is that a Helix thing? Oh, OAuth headers are if you've done an OAuth loop for certain privileged information. Which... that would actually have been in... that was originally in following videos. Shoot, was that the same? Authentication. This seems to be independent of the API version. And this is a somewhat general guide as well. Yeah. Okay. So the V5 version of nope, wrong window. Source Twitch. I guess we should actually call this Kraken. Even well, they're just calling it new API in V5 right now. That's probably fine to the Twitch Kraken V5. That probably should have been OAuth token. Well, it's either OAuth token or a token. It's one of the two. This might. I don't think this is actually gonna be all that different. So, for my wait, you know what? We should probably go ahead and use communities, since that's something you can't get. Communities? Yeah, community by name. Probably get community by name is the one we'll end up using to add things properly. Oops. Fetch community. This is almost a case where I should go write this code. But I guess I can kind of write it here, just not debugged. It's decoder Kraken decode dot yeah, so this actually is a singular community. All right, so send. So really all it changes here is the Twitch headers, which is... I could probably reuse more of this code, but eh. All right, and now we go into source control. And hope we can copy that. So they always do it this way. This is the new file, so the diff won't actually matter. And this gives us plenty of room to change things up if we end up having to change more. All right, so that lets us make a call. Then we need Twitch API source Twitch. I swear I used to have a toolbar up here. Kraken. So Helix, and we just have the decode file. Okay. We can probably grab some stuff from here. I don't know if I need twitch.pars or really any of this stuff. Edit source, Twitch, Kraken, decode.elm. And I'm just not gonna do this other stuff. Actually, are tokens still through the Kraken API, or did they finally update that? I forget. All right, so we're going to have a community. We're going to have... community by name, by ID, update, top communities. So if you called that URL, you would get a communities. Sample community, sample communities. Wait. Unities. Docs, community. Community. Actually, I normally end up defining it the other way around. And it's like, I once upon a time had this, and I could go dig it up. But I just don't feel need to do that right now, because it's kind of on the to be maybe deleted line. And we might grab a little bit of stuff from Kraken Decode. Or Helix Decode. As far as templates for how we handle stuff, well, I mean, we're definitely going to need JSON. You don't have any timestamp stuff. Import JSON.decode. I may have to set up tests for this because I don't actually have a use case for communities just yet. All right, so we did a little bit of consistency here. Communities, we're going to have a not sure why I new lined that. Oh, because that's required by the document style. Type alias community equals. So I'm just assuming it's all the same. It's not all the same. All right, it's not going to be that easy to do, so sorry, communities. You're going to have to wait. Man. Yeah, that's like the rules and everything, but that's what you get if you look by name. So we have example response. How was I formatting this? Equals blah, 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 blah. Okay, perfect. Sample community string. Eclipse. So ID is a string. Avatar image URL is a string. Cover image URL is a string. Description is a string. Description HTML is a string. Language is a string. Name is a string. Oh, communities have own IDs. Oh, we were converting these to Elm style. Owner ID is an int. No, it's a string. Rules is a string. Oh, rules gets longer, and summary is a string. Alright, so we got that. This is easily going to be a long form. Just like that. So clip, community is a decoder of community, and it equals succeed community map2 field ID nope ID, and this is where we need to. I did not redo this keyboard. Close that so we can be looking at. Ooh, okay, fine. We'll do it this way. Field ID string, field avatar image URL string, cover image URL string, description string, description HTML string, language string, name string, owner ID string, rule string, summary string. And it's break time. Nope. Now, there was something about these deploying at inappropriate times. What was it? Was it? No, I guess it's only on the ground. Oh. Okay, this would be a lot cooler if it was.
But I like... I'm the kind of person who likes to max out stats. Okay, so... I must not assigned that one before, and this I messed up on. Okay, oh, we're not at full speed. There we go.
It's too unlikely. So we're using our Gurya. It gives us increased strength. Oh, frick you, game! I hate you so much.
Shows how grounded I am. Yeah, it's like zapping my brain. Oh my god. So yesterday there was a big fucking huge storm that blew through my city, and like, I've been through storms. Storms aren't a big deal. Like, I've never had a time where I've been like super crazy scared of a fucking storm. But oh my god, it seems like storms here are so much different.
Oh, tisk.
I bet they had something to do with this.
I bet they did too. Whoa. I'm out of play area. I don't know where the hell I am in my house. I don't know where I'm at. Ow!
There's more behind me, is there? Damn.
But I like... I'm the kind of person who likes to max out stats. Okay, so... I must not assigned that one before, and this I messed up on. Okay, oh, we're not at full speed. There we go.
Alright. We're back. Alright, so minus all of the typos and errors we made, that might work. Oh, what did we do? What the heck did we do here? Oh, this is my modules versus system modules. That's right. Oh, and probably some missing imports. So, unfortunately, communities might be a data type. Well, no, that'll just be a list, right? Right. Then it's... Oh, we've already got a persist... Oh, we've already got a persist type for this, which means we have to use it as... Well... as a fully qualified type. So it's not going to expose anything. And you know what? Actually, that will be plenty sufficient to get compile checks on everything. Type alias. Okay. I guess I'll take it. We need a function. Fetches games, fetches videos. I guess it's sort of like games, but it's also a different thing. Game IDs. No, this is more of a user by name. Alright, fetch community by name URL. We're only going to do one at a time so far. Yeah, they don't indicate that can be repeated. Oh, well, actually, that's an interesting question. Get top communities. Yeah, there's nothing else to fetch a community with that. Like, might have a differential parameter for it. API.twitch.tv/kraken/communities/ or name equals. We should probably just make this name. Fetch community name. Not a list. Not being a list. Well, yeah, we'll have to handle the maybes and whatnot upstream, I guess. Kraken.send and Kraken.community. Name collision. Well, I was doing plural before, even though it really is singular this time. Naming is hard. Streams, games, videos. List Kraken.community. I need a handler for that. Is it going to look like this? More like games. Okay, community. Communities. Probably should be addict if it wasn't. Dict string community. Yep. All right. What's that folder? Oh, right. Model communities. Community. Oh, this isn't a list. This is just a straight up insert. And we will eventually persist this. I guess I could have technically done that first. Oh, and then I'll need a way to remove a community. This kind of follows from add remove. Oh, that's going to completely... I might have to completely change my output format. No, export does say users, so we've got a bridge there. All right, this is enough that I can compile and have it yell at me. too few arguments. Indeed. You do not need to be a list. Oh, wait, why were you... Because I copied videos. Communites. In Kraken.community, but it is community. Oh. Oh, I need a translator. What was my naming convention for those? Well, I'd have to find them anyway. Receive. Import game. Community. I'm pretty sure it's just ID and name right now. So, community, look up. There's only one. Either will work for that. So we only need to do this one instance. Although it's making things a little bit long now. Okay, a bunch of code we never call. Sure. How about we do this? Instead of hard coding that, we give ourselves an initial command. We'll want this back eventually. Fetch community by name. Dev sauce. But I don't have, there are currently no consequences of that action. But I should be able to, I want to do the debugger. Okay, we did not fetch that. Response community lookup. Error bad status. Okay, so we've got an error in our HTTP call. All right. Well, let's focus down for debugging on this. So where do we trigger? Yeah, from loaded. Or stopped. probably just as easy to look here. Community name not mine. So... R? Typo this? This might be that I'm not forming the URL correctly. Name equals dev sauce. Didn't see that change. Are these different Twitch IDs? That was probably options. Wait. Oh no, there's the accept. Is it not client ID? Client ID, accept. Get Kraken community's name equals. Well, let's try. Since we know this one works. Or is supposed to work. Well, no, community name not found. This is the example they give. Well, let's try the by ID call. See if maybe the name is actually something different. This is formatted completely differently. Actually, let's just stuff this URL in there. Internal server error? Is there any, like... client ID? Usernames to user ID. Oh yeah, that did the comma separated. The status of your token. Oh, that's for OAuth. Interesting. Oh, responses have a XAPI version. If I can sync and scroll, geez. Ooh, that one doesn't. Oh, that's the V5 docs. New Twitch API might not have the version in it. Community name not found. All right, I may have to pull back. Well, this is just a URL request, so we would not need all the decoder junk to switch over to something we used before that was actually known to work. Oh, that's yourself. Login equals... Okay, there's nothing wrong with the headers. dev.twitch.tv support. Online streams from a community. What is a V5? Well, actually, the streams by community does work. New API. Communities returns 404. March 17. That's probably for management. The streams in a community. Also 17. Oh, that streams in a community on Kraken. That's similar, but also closed. That's banned users. Not in the new API yet. All right, I'm going to have to post a query about this particular feature. In the meantime, how do we put our program back in order here? It's a shame not to commit this, but that doesn't actually do anything. So in our init, we go back to separately listing that, and no point in sending that fetch because it doesn't do anything. So we get this back to working state. I said to a working state? Oh wait, I removed a bunch of... I'm actually surprised that much stuff came up given how much I turned off here. Alright, so lunchtime for me. Come on, good boy. Thanks to Dog and Lake, Kuro Kitsune, One Jellybean, Gamer Siren, Deadly Tacos, Deadly Taco, Haskin TV, Stormy Ice Leopard, 2 Left for to Cry, and Osserat Gaming for hosting me. What do we have? So he's doing electronic stuff. Some PA stuff going on. And the question is, are they rolling over into community games, or they're in between games, which is unfortunate. So let's try dev. I think this is one of the, yeah, one of the dev sauce people who I've kind of put in because I didn't have a better way to manage it before. No videos, unfortunately, but assuming that I've at least looked at him a little bit to make sure we're pretty good here. So if you look for someplace cool to hang out, that's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. I plan to be back this afternoon to try out the 1 Hour 1 Life mods. And then, yeah, probably back to Slay the Spire Sunday. Till next time, bye-bye.